WBCK. Tim Collins in for Richard Piet today. Our guests on our Miles for Memories moment today are Karin Gallagher of Maplewood and Marshall. Karin, good morning.
Good morning.
And also Diane Moore from the Oaks at Northpointe.
Good morning.
Northpointe,
Northpointe
Woods, Roosevelt and North Avenue.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we are talking about choosing a care setting. And I guess the first thing is don't wait until it's a critical crisis emergency to start making these decisions, right?
Exactly. Looking around, looking at the buildings in your area, touring, meeting with the staff, checking the activity programming, seeing what activities are offered. So there's so many things, but exactly, do it a little bit beforehand before you find yourself in a crisis.
And I guess find out, too, you may have a friend who's already at one of these places, and that could figure in.
And it is an awkward situation or an awkward conversation to have with maybe your mom or dad to say, hey, we're going to start looking at some nursing homes. I mean, it might not be the most popular conversation to have, but it's something that's very necessary because emotions just start flying, and it can be a very emotional time for people, and that's not the best time to be making these decisions. So just really having a true heart-to-heart and saying, we're just thinking about the future. Doesn't mean you're going tomorrow, but let's look around and do our homework before we need it.
And it's, hard to say this, I guess, but you want to be able to have them participate in the discussion, and perhaps if you wait too long, they won't be able to. And now all of a sudden you have to make a decision for them, and that's got to be really terrible.
Absolutely, especially with the dementia. It's not diagnosed right away, so it could be slowly happening. Maybe mom's living by herself, and you think she's doing okay, and in the meantime, maybe she's putting things in odd places, or maybe she hasn't been paying her bills for a while, but you just really don't know that yet. So unfortunately, there could be some signs that maybe you're not even seeing right away.
But even if you are seeing the signs, that should be a wake-up call that we need to start talking about that. And I guess it's not like you're picking out the headstone.
No.
You're just looking for the next transition in living. And we all know we can't live in the same place our entire life. My folks, to their credit, they started planning, I think 3 years ago, and their first step was to inform the children, yes, we are going to sell the house. So we had a year to try and digest that. And then the next year was, yes, we are going to start selling stuff we've accumulated for 50 years, and then we're going to have some sales and market the property. And it took them 3 years, and they sold it. Now they're into the next level, which is, a smaller house. And the next conversation is going to be the one that we're talking about today, in a few years from now. And so, what are the very first steps that we should take?
Well, like we were saying, plan on visiting several care facilities. Take a look around, talk to the staff as well as the residents and the other families. Ask about the activities that are planned at the facilities, field trips, how the supervision is handled, especially with our folks with dementia. Is the environment inside and outside safe?
Yeah, I would imagine visit more than once, and not always at the same time of day.
Right, different times.
Absolutely, yeah.
Around meal times, if you do your homework too, you'll see online, they always say go in after 5, check out facilities in the evening time, on the weekends. I was really proud to say I'm honestly new to the Oaks, and when I was first hired, I had my son and husband come in to do a little tour because they weren't familiar, and I walked in on the weekend, and I hadn't been in there on the weekend, so I kind of know how things could be a little different, and I was so proud we went in on the weekend. There were still activities. The place looked clean. Yeah. People were friendly, so it was really refreshing for me to I truly walked in on a weekend unannounced, and this is something that families would see when they go in.
And this is a hard thing to bring up, but sooner or later in these situations, the money can run out. You need to know up front what's going to happen if that happens, right?
Absolutely. With the long-term care, there's different rules now, too. So depending if you're widowed or single, there's different rules for that versus if you're a married couple. Don't be afraid just because you're married and maybe your spouse has dementia, needs more care. It doesn't mean that you're going to lose everything. So that's where you really need to talk to an elder care lawyer, someone who specializes in this type of situation. A lot of times you have to pay privately until the money is spent down to apply for Medicaid.
And then Medicaid or Medicare might kick in at that point. Sure. While we have about a minute left, just a couple of other things that maybe we should check out as we're planning for the future.
Certainly, availability. You're looking at availability just like we were talking about. You have your Medicare, your Medicaid, and other insurances. And sometimes when you're looking at facilities and it is private pay, some people do have long-term care insurance that we're looking at, and there's also a veterans aid and attendance benefit that's available. So we talk to families about everything that we know about, the knowledge that we have, so they can have the information for their best decisions.
And I imagine anybody that calls you guys, you're going to be more than helpful to let them know what they're up against and what their options are.
We just, I think for both of us, we like folks to come in and see life in the building. So we can welcome that anytime.
You always hear the kids say, I told Mom I'd never put her in a nursing home, but really once you get in, times have changed. There's so many activities. Just the social side of things makes it a good move and probably necessary for a lot of people.
And again, it goes back to planning in advance. There probably are some places out there that you wouldn't want to be in. And they don't have the big lines at the door and the waiting lists. So you want to be on top of it. You get in a nice place like Maplewood or Northpointe. And I appreciate both of you from those organizations being on our Miles for Memories moment today and get us thinking a little bit about it because, we may get the opportunity to have that conversation over the holidays or at least start that conversation. And it's not easy, but you have to start sometime, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
Yep. Karin Gallagher and Diane Moore, thanks very much for being with us today.
Thank you for having us.